most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like Kim from Morgantown. Kim was experiencing such severe numbness, burning, and stabbing pain in her feet that she constantly felt distracted in life. Then Kim discovered Tri-State Neuropathy Centers and their effective FDA-approved treatment program that has no drugs, is non-invasive, and painless. Kim no longer has the pain that was limiting her daily activities, and she's now enjoying life again. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers helped Kim, along with thousands of others. Let them help you next. Call 304-777-2068. That's 304-777-2068. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
In 1986, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville was started with a promise to provide clients with truthful, friendly, and courteous service. It worked. With an expanded client base, the Firestone Insurance Agency's customers are now able to choose from over 20 well-known insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
Casey's Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown and owned by the Vernon family, wants you to know they have new hours. Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come on into Casey's and check out their new menu ideas and entrees. They can also cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126. Casey's, the best in Fayette County.
Enjoy the Story Square Summer Concert Series every Thursday throughout the summer from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. featuring music and food with local bands and vendors. WMBS will also be on hand for a live broadcast with the prize wheel and giveaways various Thursdays throughout the summer. Bring along your friends and family to enjoy the talents of local musicians. It's an ideal opportunity to celebrate community spirit and support local talent. The Story Square Summer Concert Series is supported by the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Uniontown and presented weekly by fine businesses including Premier Nissan, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, the Herald Standard, the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, Lee's Plumbing, Mike Kelly Toyota of Uniontown, the Fayette Launchbox, A1 Porta-Johns, and by Fayette Area Coordinated Transportation. Check out the full schedule of the 2025 concert series at uniontownredevelopment.com/Story Square. We will see you there.
Your local station, WMBS.
Good morning and welcome to another Saturday edition of the Sportsline, being brought to you this morning by my buddy Tom Vernon and Casey's Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management, serving lunches and dinners Monday through Saturday from 12 to 9 and Sunday from 12 to 5. Come on out, enjoy fine dining and a round of golf. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko with you on a very, very pleasant Saturday morning. I know you'll be taking advantage of the good weather and out and about doing all sorts of things, but I hope you'll take time out from your busy schedule. Pick up the phone, give us a call. Two-way sports talk, the lifeblood of any sports talk show. And I would love to hear from you on a variety of subjects. Telephone number, if you would like to jump in to the conversation this morning, 724-438-4593. Once again, that number, 724-438-4593. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard. The Pirates continue their winning ways over the Cincinnati Reds at PNC Park. The Reds over the last few years, I believe their record at PNC is now 19-42 over the last few years at PNC Park. So they have struggled in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh comes back and beats the Reds last night 3-2. Game 3 of the 4-game set is tonight at PNC Park. Other National League action. Miami downs Atlanta 5-1. Milwaukee Brewers continue their winning ways, downing the New York Mets 3-2. St. Louis shuts out the Chicago Cubs 5-0. Arizona 6, Colorado 1. And the Giants, San Francisco Giants, shut out Washington 5-0. Interleague play. Philadelphia Phillies beat the Texas Rangers 9-1. LA Dodgers over Toronto 5-1. And Boston beats San Diego 10-2. American League, Baltimore Orioles nipped the Athletics 3-2. Detroit over the LA Angels 6-5. It was Houston beating the New York Yankees 5-3. Cleveland over the Chicago White Sox 9-5. Minnesota Twins beat the Kansas City Royals 9-4. And Seattle takes Tampa Bay 3-2. NFL preseason football last night. Cleveland Browns beat the Carolina Panthers 30-10. Detroit Lions over Atlanta 17-10. And New England beats Washington 48-18. So that is a look at the scoreboard. Turning our attention to sports obituaries. An all-time great from the NFL, from the early days of the NFL, has passed away. Former Green Bay Packers wide receiver and the first ever player union president, Billy Houghton, has died, according to the National Football League Players Association. Houghton, who was 95 years old, passed away Monday in Houston after a long and lucky life, according to the Bradshaw Carter Funeral Home obituary. The cause of death was not revealed. The native Texan was considered a pioneer of the NFLPA in its early days, representing the Packers in the organization's first board meeting, according to the Players Union. He was later selected the NFLPA's first player president in 1958, where he had an impactful 2-year stint, according to the union. Houghton had a prolific playing career as well. The Packers selected him in the second round of the 1952 player draft, and was the first ever wide receiver to score a receiving touchdown at historic Lambeau Field, then known as City Stadium, per the Packers. His talent produced record-breaking stats. When he stepped away from football, he held NFL records for most career receptions and receiving yards, according to the Packers. He still owns the team record for most receiving yards in a single game, hauling in 7 catches for 257 yards versus the Rams in 1957. In 1959, Houghton was traded to the Cleveland Browns, where he played for 1 season. He later continued his playing career with the Dallas Cowboys before retiring after the 1963 season. He was inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame in 1974. Billy Houghton, really tremendous wide receiver, passing away at the age of 95. Okay. We're going to open up the phone lines for Open Line Sports Talk. We've got an interesting show lined up for you today. Steelers have their first preseason game tonight in Kansas City. I was at camp, not Kansas City, but Jacksonville. They're in Jacksonville. I was at camp earlier the week, and I'll play a couple of player interviews for you from camp. one with the rookie linebacker out of Ohio State, Jack Sawyer, and the other with second-year Steelers center, Zach Frazier, who just became a daddy. I believe it was on Thursday of this week, Zach Frazier became a daddy. But you'll hear those interviews on the show. And the first of our college football previews is on tap for hour number 2 at 11:30. We'll look at the Penn State Nittany Lions, who by all accounts are primed for a big season in Happy Valley. And their longtime play-by-play voice, Steve Jones, will join me at 11:30 to preview the Penn State Nittany Lions. But until that time, and around the Steeler interviews, your phone calls. One line is open if you want to jump in. That telephone number again, 724-438-4593. That's 724-438-4593. We'll be back and open those phone lines right after this quick timeout.
Get ready, Somerset County. The 125th Annual Somerset County Fair returns August 14th through 23rd at the Fairgrounds in Myersdale. For just $12 per person plus $2 car parking, dive into top-tier livestock shows, nightly grandstand acts, and thrills on the Midway. Catch demolition derbies, tractor pulls, and dirt drag races by Appalachian Outlaws Motorsport. Family fun in the Laurel Highlands. Don't miss it. For full details and special days, visit SomersetCountyFairPA.com. You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
Hi, come on in. How are you feeling?
when you see doctors Paul Hartley and Mary Beth Riley, plus nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckart, and Stacy Morris, you get one-on-one personal professional health care serving the area for over 3 decades. If you're looking for a primary care doctor, call Doctors Hartley and Riley at 724-437-1109 or online at ppcp.org. Or
Serving number 3,940.
Bring your crew to a party on 5th Ave. Pittsburgh Penguins group tickets are perfect for celebrating birthdays, team outings, and work events. Plus, there's even fundraising opportunities available for your group.
Punches it back door. Crosby scores!
Make unforgettable memories together at PPG Paints Arena. This action-packed season is presented by UPMC. Special offers available for groups of 10 or more. Visit PittsburghPenguins.com/groups for all the details.
saving money when you buy a new home isn't a fantasy. It's reality at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. With up to $5,000 in instant savings during the Sign and Save sales event, it's the perfect place to find the home you've always wanted. So don't let your dream home stay a fantasy. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon today at 4500 PA 51. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save sales event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through August 31st. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
Hi everyone, this is Kelly Clark with Autoland Hyundai in downtown Uniontown. 724-208-5281. What makes buying your next vehicle for me worthwhile? I make it a very easy 5-step process. You look, you shop, you ask, you decide. And I listen. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai, 724-208-5281. 724-208-5281. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai. I'll make you a good deal.
If you're an athlete, you know the importance of a strong recovery. NovaCare provides several athletic training programs geared toward athletic-related injuries and collaborates with Albert Gallatin, Uniontown, Fraser, California, Jefferson Morgan, Waynesburg, West Green, and Mapletown school districts to help student athletes stay at their best. From coordinating additional specialist care to treating on-site injuries, their experts cater to your personal needs. Specialized services include concussion diagnosis and rehabilitation and treatment for sport-specific injuries. For more information on athletic training at NovaCare, visit novacare.com or contact your local office today.
Hi, this is Penguins broadcaster Phil Bork, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And welcome back on board for this edition of the Sportsline. We're going to open up the phone lines now. Open line sports talk. Your chance to get up on the soapbox and be heard. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is on the docket. Telephone number, again, can never say it enough if you want to jump into the conversation. 724-438-4593 is your ticket to conversation. Let's go to the phone lines, take our first phone call of the morning. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George.
Charles, once again, our leadoff hitter.
Yes. George.
You wangled me for a walk, Charlie. You're on base again.
Thank you. Take them anywhere I can get them. But I really like to be like a Lou Brock. Have my way on.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. George, what's wrong with those Cincinnati Reds? They ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Well, for whatever reason, the last few years have been a disaster for the Reds in Pittsburgh. I told you their record now, I believe it's 19-42.
I mean, I thought only one team had trouble winning at PNC Park, and that's the Pittsburgh Pirates. But anyway, I mean, it just, George, the Reds seem to have the makings of a great pitching staff over there.
Well, and they're going to get somebody back, too. Hunter Green is due back, and he's going to give them a huge shot in the arm going down the stretch.
The only thing I think, George, they're going to have to be very, very good because of that cigar box that they play in down in Cincinnati.
Yeah. Everybody in the Central right now, they're looking up at the Brewers. I mean, what a year the Brewers are having right now, and they are just playing great baseball, hitting on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, and we're going in there after this year. We're going in there on Monday, and the Pirates ought to go in on E Street. E is an embarrassing. We should be. No, I won't even say could be. We should be what the Brewers are now. What's that guy, Matt Arnold?
That's the guy that went to Milwaukee instead of coming to Pittsburgh. And they picked Ben Cherington, which has turned out to be a colossal mistake.
Yeah.
By the way, not to throw water on everything, but, once again, he chose to make a deal with the Yankees. And his track record in trading with the Yankees is absolutely abysmal. They have gotten nothing in return from the Yankees. In fact, the final piece in the Jameson Tyone trade was let go by the Pirates earlier this week. They have nobody in their system that was part of that trade. And to add more insult to injury in trading with the Yankees, Sanchez, the outfielder they got, who had been injured, and there were warning signs about him because he had missed some games in July, has now been placed on the 60-day disabled list. He was part of the Bednar deal. So they got an injured outfielder.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they doing?
George, I think I told you last week, when Brian Cashman, Yankees GM, wants to make a trade, he dials S for sucker. That's what it is. He knows. I mean, give Cashman credit. It's like P.T. Barnum. He knows where the suckers are.
Just think about the impact of what I said. The deals they made with the Yankees, and I forget how many it was. I think it may have been about 7 or 8 deals. There is absolutely no one still in the Pirates system that was a part of those trades. No one. Except the one they just made, the Bednar deal. And we've already gotten bad news about that.
Yeah, that's what I said. Dial S for sucker. It's just, that's why I told you. George, last week when the trade deadline passed, I was not only underwhelmed by all this, I was downright disappointed and disgusted. That's horrible. That's not Major League. Well, that's enough of that. George, I wanted to ask you, tonight's Steeler exhibition game in Jacksonville, is there anybody with more pressure on him than Broderick Jones?
Well, certainly the spotlight is going to be on him and the entire offensive line, and they're going to start, and I think they're going to get significant playing time. The ones that are playing on that offensive line, I can report that after a horrendous start to camp where he was getting beat left and right, this last week, things settled down a little bit for Jones, and he had a little better showing. Hopefully, that's a sign of good things to come.
How he's an offensive left tackle, okay?
Right.
How much help is he expected to get from his left guard?
Well, when the left guard is healthy, he's a pretty good one. That's Ciamalla.
Yeah.
Now, he had his problems. He's back practicing, but he had been out early in camp. But Ciamalla is back, and he's a solid left guard.
Is the center supposed to help out in a situation?
It all depends on what the call is. They change constantly. In fact, the interview I did with Zach Frazier, we talked a little bit about the play calling for the offensive line, which he is part of. He has to call out the signals in conjunction with the quarterback. And I talked about how he and Aaron Rodgers are meshing together in calling the offensive line signals. And when I play the Zach Frazier interview a little bit later, you'll hear him talking about that.
Now, George, when they, take for example like Broderick Jones or anybody, we'll center on Broderick Jones. When they evaluate him, do they use like a hockey system, a plus minus, where
he gets a numerical grade.
Oh, okay. And he gets a numerical grade. Now, do the Steelers expect a lot out of Jones as a run blocker?
Yes. That was supposed to be one of his strengths when he was at Georgia.
So he's supposed to be better run blocking than pass blocking?
Yes.
But he better be good at pass blocking?
Well, since he's protecting the quarterback's blind side, yes. Yeah. That's going to be an ongoing thing, and it'll be interesting to see if they improve. I said many times on the show, they have expended a lot of capital, draft-wise and money-wise, on the offensive line. They need to start stepping up because with an older quarterback who gets rid of the ball a little faster than Russell Wilson does, that's one thing about Jones, but with an older quarterback, there's a premium on protection because, at his age, and we've seen it over the last few years, one big hit and he could be done for a season.
Now, do you expect the offensive line starters to play extensively, in at least the first two games?
Well, the first one, I think they're going to play extensively. It's going to be interesting to see how they do that. I think a lot of the playing time will be determined by how they show in this first game. If there are massive breakdowns and communication problems and other things, they're going to get another dose because they've got to get this line moving in the right direction. Oh, yeah. They have to.
George, I want to ask you this. This question was on the nightly sports call on KDK Plus last night. Do you is the number of preseason games, excuse me, I started calling them exhibition games. Is the number of preseason games just right for you? Would you like to see more or less?
I personally would like to see more. I don't think it's enough time, and I think it shows early in the season, particularly when you're not playing a lot. These guys aren't ready yet. By the time they get to the season, they haven't hit enough to be ready, and that's one of the reasons I firmly believe, and I am the numbers bear me out on this, an inordinate amount of injuries early in the season because they have not done enough to prepare to start for the season. I can recall a time when they used to play 6. Now, that's too many. That's too many. That's too many. But 3 is not enough. 3 is not enough. Yeah.
Was 4 just about right for you?
4 would be okay, I think.
Yeah. But because, what was it? They didn't go to 16 games in 1978. And, I can remember when they used to play 6 games in a 14-game regular season. And the Steelers played some preseason games in California and in Oregon.
Well, they used to move the preseason games all over the place trying to get a gate.
Yeah,
and that was not just the Steelers. All of the teams played in different towns.
They, to a certain extent, they barnstormed a bit.
Exactly.
Because they didn't always play them in the big city stadiums. I think one year or so that the Steelers played an exhibition game or 2 in the University of Oregon Stadium.
Well, I recall them playing the Bengals in Morgantown.
Yeah. And but they, George, I happen to think you're right. They're not. They want the money from the regular season games. But for a better quality of football, they need to.
But they're still charging, and this is what angers people. They're still charging pretty good prices for these preseason games. And they're not giving those tickets away.
That's robbery, George, because you don't see good quality in most of them because a goodly number of them the starters don't even play.
Well, look how many guys aren't playing tonight for the Steelers. My goodness.
Well, what about 12 of them or so?
Yeah.
But I still think they managed the preseason to regular season schedule back better in the 60s than they do now.
Yeah, but I just don't think it's enough, and I don't think these guys are ready for the regular season. They have not. The other thing that people don't talk about is what goes on in practice. I can remember, it wasn't unusual back in the day to have 3-a-days, and for sure 2-a-days. And that's not that way anymore. And you don't hit nearly as much in training camp as you did in the old days. Consequently, I don't think these guys have hit enough. I don't think they're football ready. And that is why, and let's see if it holds true, but it has over the past couple of years, an inordinate amount of injuries early in the season.
George, one last thing as I go out. How about college football? How about a big blockbuster to start the season? How about it to shoe? The Longhorns and Buckeyes.
Going to be interesting.
You have any early thoughts about that game?
Well, I have heard, and I'll believe it when I see it, that Ohio State is not quite as strong as they have been in recent years. Texas is going to have Arch Manning probably at quarterback. They've got it's a road game. That's a tough place to play. But it's hard for me to go against Ohio State in Columbus. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
They're pretty tough along the banks of the old Intangi when they're playing.
Which is going to make it tough for when the Penn State. I think Penn State has to go to Ohio State this year.
Let me just look. I got their schedule
here. Yeah, I think
here.
they got Michigan home, but they got Ohio State on the road, I think.
They play Iowa the week before at Kinnick Stadium, and then they're at Ohio Stadium November 1st.
Yeah, that's Penn State always has trouble out there.
Yeah, they do, and I'm just looking. Oregon, UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa, Ohio State, Indiana, Michigan State, Nebraska, Rutgers.
They don't play the Wolves.
They don't play Michigan. Yeah.
No Wolves.
No, I don't see it here.
Okay.
They start off with Nevada, then Florida International, and then Villanova, Oregon, UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa, Ohio State, Indiana, Michigan State, Nebraska, Rutgers. Nope.
No, I guess I don't.
Yeah.
Well, George,
that also bodes well for a big year for Penn State. A lot of people think this is the year.
Yeah, but they have to do it in the shoe.
Yeah.
I mean, well, conceivably they could lose in the shoe, and still, under this new setup, they could still get in.
Right.
But, George, as I go out, the only thing left to do is put a happy birthday on you next Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means you'll be even for me again.
Where did all the years go?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start subtracting. A friend of mine has started subtracting numbers from his birthday, so I think I may start doing that.
George,
Yeah.
but I thought it was where have all the flowers gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did all the time go? That's what I want.
Yeah. Okay, George, thanks. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you for the call. That frees up both of our phone lines this morning. Do come ahead with your questions and your comments. Love to hear from you on a variety of subjects. Pick up the phone, give us a call. The telephone number again, 724-438-4593. Once again, 724-438-4593. We'll be back with more right after this.
Black and gold up on their feet. Terrible towels swirling.
When you listen here, you get all the excitement of Steelers football.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Rob King brings you the play-by-play along with Max Starks and Missy Matthews.
Where would you rather be?
The only place to be on game day is the Pittsburgh Steelers Audio Network.
Football is back. The Steelers open up the preseason slate against the Jaguars in Jacksonville Saturday, August 9th at 7 o'clock on your Steelers station, WNBS.
Warm weather is finally here, and with it, the opportunity to upgrade your lawn or yard with a new fence from All Around Fence Company. Conveniently located at 7896 National Pike, Uniontown, All Around Fence has been installing quality residential, commercial, and farm fencing for more than 45 years. Offering residential fencing including chain link, decorative aluminum, steel, and more, All Around Fence has a fence for you. All Around Fence is also your one-stop shop for Neutrina products and carries livestock, equine, and pet supplies too. So whether you need to upgrade an existing fence, add a new gate, or are looking to install an all-new fence, All Around Fence has the answers for you. Visit them Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. or give them a call at 724-439-0331. To learn more, visit allaroundfence.com.
Chris Parker Jr., hard to believe the 25-26 school year is here.
Easy for us to believe, 25 and 26 Hyundais are here. So is the Hyundai Getaway sales event. Get away with 0% financing for 60 months on the full-size luxury third row 2025 Palisade, redesigned third row 2025 Santa Fe and Santa Fe Hybrid, or up to $2,750 HMF bonus cash on Palisade and up to $3,500 HMF bonus cash on Santa Fe. And your first payment is not due for 90 days.
I hear you. What about selection?
We still have a great selection of new 25s, so we're lowering prices and offering above Blue Book value for your trade. Plus 0% financing for 60 months on the 25 Palisade, 25 Santa Fe, and Santa Fe Hybrid. And first payment not due for 90 days.
Plus Hyundai Owner Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection with every new Hyundai purchased, and 3-year, 36,000-mile free complimentary maintenance. Autoland Hyundai, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website at autolandhyundai.com.
And remember, you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwa LaurelHighlandsWealthAG.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Casey's Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown and owned by the Vernon family, wants you to know they have new hours. Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come on into Casey's and check out their new menu ideas and entrees. They could also cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126. Casey's, the best in Fayette County.
Hi, this is Bob Walk, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on your local station, WMBS Uniontown.
Welcome back to this Saturday edition of the Sportsline. Back to the phone lines we go. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the Sportsline.
Hello, George.
Yes.
This is Mark calling.
Yes.
Hey, I was like my local pub. You were having a brew last week, and I was watching a game between the Baltimore Royals and Toronto Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
And they mentioned the fact that between a doubleheader that they traded a guy.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And, okay. Now, how can I say this?
It's not the first time it's happened, by the way.
Okay, but I mean, in the golden age of baseball, the pre-Lou Brock era, that didn't happen, did it?
Oh, it's happened before. And I remember guys, changing locker rooms in the middle. It's happened before, at least a few times that I recall. Yes.
Okay. I just don't see that happening like in the 40s or 50s or 30s. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see that happening. But I mean, it just seemed, I don't know, such a low class thing to do. No class, I'll put it to you that way. To trade a player right in the middle of it.
I don't view it the same way you do. It's business. Guys have changed locker rooms, as I said. I believe one guy was Joe Youngblood, if memory serves me correctly, who just walked over to the other team's locker room. You trade while the iron is hot, particularly if it was at the end of the trade deadline, when the deadline was approaching. You make the deal when you can, because once that deadline hits, then you have to find other ways to make a deal.
Yeah, George, I don't know. But to me, whatever you do, you got to do it with a little bit of style.
I don't think the players view it that way at all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, another thing is, has it been almost 50 years since they went to a 16-game schedule in the NFL? Did you say 78?
That was Charlie said 78, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that early. I didn't know it had been that long.
Yeah.
Jesus. You know what? I always liked the 14-game schedule better, and like the 3 divisions and the 1 wild card. I just thought that was so much better.
Unfortunately, because of greed, and let's call it like it is, because of money.
But that's what I'm saying, George, about baseball too.
That's not going to happen. They want as many regular season games. That's why they're doing the. I don't like the 3 games in preseason. I don't think it's enough. And I don't think these guys are ready to play, and that's why we see an inordinate amount of injuries in the first couple of games of the season, because they're not ready to play.
Yeah, and they're trying to squeeze big bucks for those preseason tickets too. You say?
No, they're not giving anybody a break on ticket prices.
Huh. Okay. All right. Okay, Drew. I guess that's all I got for you today. Just a couple of things that are on my mind.
Okay. Thanks for checking in. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's move on here. Take another call here this morning. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line. Hello.
Good morning, George.
Yes.
I was calling about a rant I don't know if it's a rant. Some guy in Memphis, Gary Parrish, he was on the radio, and he was talking about the Pirates, and he was saying that they're sort of stuck in a loop that nothing's not going to want to pay if the people don't show up, and the people aren't going to show up if they don't put a good product on. So he said with Skeens being where he's at, he's good through 2029. He thinks the only way they're going to get off this merry-go-round is for Nutting to just make a commitment that, yes, I'm going to do it. I might lose a bunch of money, but I'm going to put talent around him.
Can I give you a piece of advice? Don't hold your breath for that.
Well, that was part of my question. I was going to say, what do you think of the idea yourself?
Well, I
and
think
what do
they
you think
should.
about the problem?
I don't think he needs to spend an inordinate amount of money. The Brewers are not spending an inordinate amount of money, but they're spending their money wisely. But he doesn't have, just let me use this past offseason as an example.
Sure.
They knew they had the makings of a very, very solid pitching staff, and that has proven to be true. They're getting very good pitching. They were getting outstanding relief pitching. Now they chewed up the bullpen a little bit with a couple of trades that they made, but the pitching was fine. The problem all along was going to be the offense. They did not have enough hitting. So if they had just spent a little bit of money on some offense, a couple of bats, they could very well in this division be contending. But no, they did not do that. They did bargain basement things. Spencer Horwitz, who's been hitting well lately, but I don't expect that to. First of all, he's playing a power position, and he doesn't have any power. Same thing, They had Brian Hayes at third base. Power position, no power. What they should have done, instead of going after Horwitz, Christian Walker, who the Astros signed, they signed him for about $35 million, which is not an outrageous sum for a power-hitting first baseman. Then they should have gotten an outfielder. And they didn't go after any of the Santangelo, any of the guys, or Santander, or any of the outfielders that were available. They made no effort to sign any of them. That's because they didn't want to spend the money. So this is what you've got. You've got one of the worst offensive teams in baseball wasting tremendous pitching, and that's a cardinal rule in baseball that you don't waste good pitching. But that's because they didn't do anything during the offseason. And God bless him, Paul Skeens is saying, I'm going to wait and see what they do this offseason. Paul, I'm going to tell you what I just told you. Don't hold your breath.
Yeah. It's criminal that he has a losing record. To watch that man pitch is just, he's phenomenal. And to have a losing record behind him is just, it's criminal. It really is.
To echo what Gary Parrish was saying, no, it has nothing. They had crowds when they had a product on the field. They had crowd when they had those three straight postseason appearances. They were drawing fine. All I've got to say about that is it's like any business. If you don't spend money on your business, you're not going to improve. But that's not the way Nutting does business. He's pocketing most of that money, which is the only hope there. The only hope there, and the Players Union, I don't know whether they're going to go. The only hope there is for a salary floor that forces him to spend so much money. If that would happen, that may even force him to get out of the baseball business and sell the team because he doesn't want to spend the money. That's the only hope there is.
All right. Thanks, George.
Thank you for the call. You take care. Bye-bye. And let's take another call real quick before the top of the hour. Hello, you're on the Sports Line.
Hey, George, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay. Hey, how many times have we heard this the last couple years? And he takes strike three to end the inning with a man on second and third. And he takes strike three looking to end the inning.
They take more called third strikes than any team in baseball. That's been proven over the past few years.
Oh, it's a mess. And, I played a little bit of baseball in my younger days, mostly a catcher, but nothing, no big deal or nothing. But you can get frozen at the plate sometimes with a pitch. But time and time again, player after player again and again, that should not be happening, George.
And you're preaching to the choir. I've been complaining about that for a long time. I can recall baseball people that I've known who said that you're not going to make anything happen with the bat on your shoulder.
That's right. And let me ask you, because you got some inside knowledge, and I know back in the day, like teams used to fine players. Is that still something that goes on? Can a team fine a player?
Well, they can.
Can they pass a fine out for?
Well, I'll give you an example, and I don't think they do it as much as they used to in the past. The old-time Pirates, and I just had, and he talked about it when I had Phil Garner on not too long ago after the death of Dave Parker. Talked about the kangaroo court that the players used to hold. It was players holding a kangaroo court. If you did something that they felt was egregious, a mistake on the base pass, or not swinging at a pitch, or getting a called third strike, or the players themselves would hold a kangaroo court, and they would pass out fines. That is old-time baseball. That's old-time baseball. It does not happen that much anymore.
That would be more effective than just a flat-out fine, I think. That a little bit of peer pressure.
Peer pressure from your peers is always more effective.
Oh, yeah, I agree 100%. But it's pretty frustrating when they just sit back and watch them pitches come in and they don't even swing, I mean, gee, nothing's going to happen if they don't swing.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Hey, listen, I thank you for the call.
Yep.
And,
thanks a lot, George.
You take time. I just lost my time here, so I don't know what's going on with this time, and I can't get it back on. So I'm flying by. So I'm going to have to try and use my phone to tell what the time is here, because I can't get this back up for some reason, and that's not good. We're almost out of time. I thank you very much for your phone calls here in hour number one. We will continue with Open Line Sports Talk in hour number two, plus a couple of Steeler interviews coming up as well. That's Jack Sawyer, the rookie linebacker out of Ohio State I talked to at camp this week. And also we've got an interview I did with Steeler second-year center, Zach Frazier. And Zach just became a daddy this past week as well. But that happened after I talked to him up at camp on Wednesday. But I'll be playing those interviews in hour number two. And, of course, the first of our college football previews is coming up. First of our college football previews. We'll take a look at a team that is expected by the pundits to do big things this year, that being the Penn State Nittany Lions. And I will have my good friend, longtime play-by-play voice for Penn State, Steve Jones. He will join me at 11:30 in hour number two for our first college football preview. Hour number one of the Sports Line has been brought to you this morning by Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management, serving lunches and dinners Monday through Saturday from 12 to 9 and Sunday from 12 to 5. Come on out, enjoy fine dining and a round of golf. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. And stick around, another full hour of sports talk is coming up right here on your local station, 590 AM and 101.1 FM, WMBS Uniontown.
I'm Heather Bosch. Police are investigating shootings across the U.S. today. They're searching for a motive after police say a suburban Atlanta man opened fire near Emory University and the CDC headquarters in Atlanta yesterday. More from CBS's Dave Malkoff.
Police say when it was all over, the gunman and 33-year-old DeKalb County officer David Rose were both dead.
We don't have any civilians that have been shot in this active shooter incident. Thank God for that.
Officers responding to the incident heard gunshots at a nearby drugstore.
We later found the shooter on the second floor of the CVS. He had been struck by gunfire. We do not know at this time whether that was from officers or if it was self-inflicted.
3 people were injured in a shooting in Times Square overnight. CBS News New York's Christy Kalishian is talking with the NYPD.
They say that a group of what appeared to be teenagers with hoods on were fighting. That's what we're hearing from witnesses. Police say a 65-year-old man was shot in the left leg and an 18-year-old girl suffered a grazed wound to the neck.
A suspect is in custody after a shooting in Montana left 4 dead. CBS's Adriana Diaz reports.
Michael Paul Brown was arrested just a few miles from the crime scene yesterday following an intense week-long manhunt. The motive for last Friday's shooting is still unclear. Investigators say the former U.S. soldier went inside the Owl Bar in Anaconda next door to his home. They say he killed a female bartender and 3 male customers. No one else was inside the bar.
President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin are set to meet Friday to talk about peace in Ukraine. CBS's Willie James Inman.
In a post on Truth Social, President Trump says his meeting with President Vladimir Putin of Russia will take place in the great state of Alaska. Following the president's post, an advisor to President Putin said on X, "Let's partner on environment, infrastructure, and energy in Arctic and beyond," with no mention of Ukraine. The president did not say if President Volodymyr Zelensky would attend the meeting, but one senior White House official told CBS News plans are fluid and that the Ukrainian leader could still be involved.
Zelensky says any talks must involve Kyiv. In Japan, people are marking 80 years since the U.S. dropped a second atomic bomb on their country. CBS's Vicki Barker reports.
The bells of Nagasaki's cathedral rang out at 11:02 a.m., the exact time the bomb fell, unleashing a Holocaust. Survivors described watching loved ones burn to death or die in agony in the days after. They heard their mayor plead, never again.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Route 21 Furniture. Take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture. Take the road to your perfect home.
Saving money when you buy a new home isn't a fantasy. It's reality at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. With up to $5,000 in instant savings during the Sign and Save sales event, it's the perfect place to find the home you've always wanted. So don't let your dream home stay a fantasy. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon today at 4500 PA 51. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save sales event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through August 31st. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
There's a new groundbreaking effort to protect outdoor workers from the rising threat of heat-related illnesses. CBS's Stacey Lynn reports.
Farm workers are 35 times more likely to have a heat-related death, followed by construction workers, who are 13 times.
Roxana Chicas is a nurse scientist with Emory University. She says they developed a small wearable biopatch device to track these workers' vital signs. That data will be used to train AI so they can recognize someone who's heading into the danger zone.
We're trying to prevent them from dying in the field because heat-related illness and heat-related deaths are preventable deaths.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Summer COVID cases are increasing. Data show COVID detected in wastewater is now at a moderate level nationwide, up from low last week. Levels are highest in the western U.S. The CDC estimates COVID infections are likely growing in 45 states. I'm Heather Bosch, CBS News.
A couple years ago, I was in...
Now you don't have to travel far for medical marijuana products. Go to Local Leaf in Scottsdale for a wide variety of locally grown and locally sourced products, plus your questions answered on medical marijuana, qualifying medical conditions, or how to register for your medical card. Local Leaf by PHG, Crossroads Road in Scottsdale, 412-417-4964, online at localleafpa.com. Local Leaf, your medical marijuana dispensary with locally grown and locally sourced products in Scottsdale.
Bring your crew to a party on 5th Ave. Pittsburgh Penguins group tickets are perfect for celebrating birthdays, team outings, and work events. Plus, there's even fundraising opportunities available for your group.
Punches it back door. Crosby scores!
Make unforgettable memories together at PPG Paints Arena. This action-packed season is presented by UPMC. Special offers available for groups of 10 or more. Visit PittsburghPenguins.com/groups for all the details.
Is your home feeling too hot? Don't sweat it. Economy Furnace Heating and Air is here to help you keep your cool. Our partnership with Amana provides top-quality air conditioning systems designed for optimal performance and energy efficiency. The best part? You don't have to break the bank to be cool. With easy financing options, upgrade your system today and pay over time with low monthly payments, 0% interest for qualified buyers, and no hidden fees. No upfront costs and fast approval. Don't let a malfunctioning or outdated unit leave you sweltering. Experience the difference a professionally installed and maintained cooling system can make. Whether you need a tune-up, repair, or a new unit, Economy Furnace Heating and Air offers comprehensive HVAC services to keep you comfortable year-round. Call Economy Furnace Heating and Air today at 724-438-4575. Ask about our summer specials and make your dream of a cool home a reality. For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Wow, your dog looks beautiful. We went to Mutt's on Market Street, the new dog grooming salon in downtown Brownsville. Samantha, the owner, has over 10 years dog grooming experience. They work with any dog, any breed, any size.
Didn't it cost a fortune?
No, the prices are great. They offer a full line of grooming and other services.
With warm weather, now's the time to schedule an appointment for your furry friends. Mutt's on Market Street, downtown Brownsville, next to Hope Park. For more information, visit Mutt's on Market Street on Facebook. Mutt's on Market Street will be open during the Market Street repairs. Well, warmer days are ahead, the kind of days when you'll be enjoying your deck or patio again, especially with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturers and customer guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Lifetime Awnings, 724-554-6067. Call for a no-cost or obligation home consultation or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has two convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Bortz Jr.
Oak Pizza in downtown Uniontown is your one-stop shop for the most unique pizzas in the region. From the masterminds behind the Fat Angelo's franchise, Oak Pizza is the laboratory where the Fat Angelo's food scientists test their creations and let you be the judge. With traditional favorites like pepperoni and buffalo chicken pizzas to more experimental offerings like the sesame seed-infused Mad Pie or the spicy chicken pickle pizza, Oak has you covered. Order today at oakpizzas.com or by calling 724-439-5805. Your taste buds will thank you.
Your local station, WMBS.
And welcome back on board for hour number 2 of the Sportsline, being brought to you this morning by my friend Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management, serving lunches and dinners Monday through Saturday from 12 to 9 and Sunday from 12 to 5. Come on out. Enjoy fine dining and a round of golf. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. And welcome back on board for hour number 2 of the Sportsline. We continue in the open line mode. Your chance to get up on that soapbox and be heard. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. And if you had some problems getting through in hour number 1, it's a great time to jump into the conversation. Right now, I'm gazing at a wide open board So do come ahead with your questions and comments. Telephone number, if you'd like to join me this morning, 724-438-4593. Once again, 724-438-4593. That's the number to call if you'd like to join the Sports Talk this morning. We've got a guest lined up in hour number 2 at the bottom of the hour, the first of our college football seasons. College football season only about 21 days away, and we're doing our first college football preview here in hour number 2 at 11:30. A look at the Penn State Nittany Lions, ranked number 2 in the country in some preseason polls. A lot of people think they've got a shot at getting a national championship in Happy Valley. And to give us the lowdown on the Nittany Lions, I will be joined by my longtime friend, the veteran play-by-play voice of the Penn State Nittany Lions, Steve Jones, will join me to preview Penn State at 11:30. But until that time, it's you and me with Open Line Sports Talk. So whatever's on your cranium, pick up the phone, give me a call. Let's talk about it. 724-438-4593 is the number to call here on the Sportsline. Steelers' first preseason game in Jacksonville tonight. They're not going to be playing a lot of guys. We're going to see a lot of the younger players, a lot of the backup players, but some of the rookies will get extensive playing time. One of those is the outside linebacker, 4th-round pick out of Ohio State, Jack Sawyer. And I caught up with Captain Jack Sawyer up at training camp earlier this week. Let's eavesdrop on that conversation. Jack Sawyer, training camp underway. You went through the mini camp and the rookie orientation, got into the playbook then. How are you adjusting to the nuances of this defense?
Yeah, I feel like I'm adjusting well. I think I'm just trying to go each day, trying to get better and better and learn from the guys that are in front of me right now who got a great group of guys who've been helping me, teaching me stuff. And that's really my mindset, is getting better every day.
Looking at what you played in at Ohio State, what you're playing in now, any similarities or is it completely different?
Yeah, I mean, there's some similarities here and there. Obviously, it's a different defense, so nothing's going to be the exact same, but there's a lot of stuff that's, very similar, so stuff that I'm familiar with, which is helping me.
I guess from what most of the younger guys have told me, and this is with every camp, big difference, terminology in a lot of instances.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff could be the same stuff, just different terminology, like you said, so for me, it's just making the connection in my head, knowing that, and being able to play fast out there.
We had an injury to Highsmith, and with the first preseason game coming up, you were going to play probably anyway, but you're going to get some more reps with him being down. I know you want to try and take advantage of that as much as you can.
Well, look, I'm just trying to take advantage of any reps I'm given. You know what I mean? Alex has been great to me. He's one of the best players in the league alongside TJ, and, Nick Herbig's been playing super good football, really good football too. So having those three guys, here with me, being able to learn from them and help them teach me different things has been awesome.
They have been helpful, very helpful, the veterans?
Yeah, I mean, all of them, all three of them, everybody on the team has been super helpful to all the young guys, and those three especially have taken me under their wing and helping me, learn the stuff, different techniques on pass rush, so it's been great.
I talked to some other young players, and sometimes a lot of the young guys say they realize what the pecking order is as far as playing time and stuff. Some of them feel that one of the ways they can make a splash right away and get noticed is special teams. Are they using you at all in special teams? And is that a good way to make this club?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, special teams is a huge part of the game. And, every rookie's got to play special teams. We get the chance to play special teams. And so I'm working my ass off trying to be on as many special teams as I can. Big part of the game.
I really appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Take care. Jack Sawyer, you're going to see a lot of him at linebacker tonight, and he's had a real good camp for the Steelers. That may turn out to be a fortuitous draft pick for the Steelers. Well, if you want to talk Steeler football, we can do that. If you want to talk about the Pirates and the ongoing plight of the Pirates, we can do that as well. College football, teams are getting ready. Pitt's got a scrimmage today. I think West Virginia's scrimmaging as well today. high school football. They're doing the heat acclimation, and high school football will get underway here at the end of the month. If you want to talk about some local high school football, we can do that, or anything else that tickles your fancy pertaining to the world of sports. Now's the time to do it. We've got a wide open board. Do come ahead with your questions and comments. Pick up the phone. Give me a call. 724-438-4593 is the number to call. 724-438-4593. And you should have no problems getting through here on the Sportsline. One of the other guys I caught up with at Steeler camp at St. Vincent, which, by the way, wraps up, I think the last day or so of camp is Monday, and then they've got a joint practice coming with the Bucs, I believe, this week. But one of the guys I caught up with was second-year center, Zach Frazier, who was such a joy to watch last year in his rookie year, played very, very well for the Steelers last year, and has been having a good camp. He did have some snap issues that he had to work through, and we talked about that. But I caught up with Zach on Wednesday, and let's listen in on my conversation with former West Virginia center Zach Frazier. Training camp in full swing, second year. How are things going so far for you?
Definitely feeling good. Still have a lot to work on, but happy with how everything's went so far.
What are some of the things that you are working on and trying to fine-tune?
Yeah, really I could go across the board of everything, just from sets, hand placement, just IDs, everything. Just want to clean up everything, get it ready for the season.
I know there have been a couple of snafus with some snaps. You're trying to clean some of that up too, right? What's going on there, you think?
Yeah, I had a couple early on, and kind of took me a while to figure out what I was doing, but I think I have it figured out now. I just wasn't finishing the snap all the way to my thigh. When I hit my elbow to my thigh, it's a good snap.
So it was more of a technique thing.
Yeah, it's just something I don't know why, but I just had to remind myself, and kind of. I'm glad I figured it out now, but yeah.
Right. Looking at the offensive line overall, big year for this unit. Some guys, younger guys, have got to step up and do some things. Are you feeling good about the reps with this unit? You haven't had everybody together, but you're going to get everybody together, and I think you're going to play a little bit in the first game too, as a unit.
Yeah, we have a young core, but all the reps we get here, it's very valuable just to get all those reps together and build that chemistry. And we're definitely not where we want to be, but we put on a lot of work, and we're going to keep building and keep getting better, and that's what we do every day. We go out and try to get better.
Final question for you: working with a veteran like Aaron Rodgers, who has seen so much, what has it been like for you guys, and how is that going so far?
Oh, it's been great. Just to pick his brain and ask him questions. He's seen so much football. It's just really an asset to all of us, because he just has so much knowledge. He's been great to us, and really excited to work with him this season.
And addendum to that, too, it's very important for you as the center. You're calling those signals for the offensive line, and you're working in tandem with him. So you guys really got to be on the same page, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we make sure we're all on the same page, and then that's how we have good plays. You want everyone on the same page. When you're not, that's when bad things happen. So,
Zach, I really appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Yep, thank you.
Zach Frazier, second-year center for the Steelers, and offensive line play going to be paramount for the Steelers this year. These guys have got to step up. They've got to get better. That's an area that I will really, really be watching in the preseason and in this first game. I think they're going to get extensive snaps tonight, and I'm going to be watching Broderick Jones and Faltano at the tackle spots, and seeing if Frazier takes another step forward from his fine rookie year. But that is probably the biggest area that really needs to improve if the Steelers are going to be a playoff team this year and if they're finally going to get the monkey off their back and get a win in the playoffs. The offensive line has to improve. We're moving through hour number 2 here. We have open line conversation right now. I've got a guest coming up in a few minutes at the bottom of the hour, our first college football preview show on the Penn State Nittany Lions with their fine play-by-play voice, Steve Jones, coming up at the bottom of the hour. But we've got some time right now to get in a couple of more calls of the open line variety. Whatever you want to talk about it is fair game here on the Sports Line. Do come ahead with your questions and comments. Great time to jump in. You should have no problems getting through. That telephone number again, if you'd like to join me here on the Sports Line this morning, 724-438-4593. Once again, 724-438-4593. That is the number for the Sports Line. Love to hear from you. Get a call or two in before we get to our first college football preview. And let's go back to the phone lines. Take a call here in hour number 2. Hello, you're on the Sports Line.
Hello, George. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay. I was just wondering, now in high school football, I know Uniontown has hired another coach down there, and he's coming from South Florida. It's pretty decent football down there. Is he ramping up and trying to? I hear he wants to get into the WPIL next year. I don't think that.
I haven't heard that, and I have not talked to him. They're having enough trouble where they're at as an independent.
I understand.
Without getting into the WPIL. And, that's been the trend in Fayette County. Connellsville is now an independent. Albert Gallatin's an independent. Brownsville is an independent. And Uniontown, the only 2 schools that remain in the WPIL. And there's some talk about Laurel Highlands going the independent route as well. But Laurel Highlands and Fraser are the only 2 school districts that are in the WPIL. But no, I'll have to ask somebody, but I have not heard any talk about Uniontown going back into the WPIL. And, of course, they had to leave for at least 2 years. This will be the second year. But I'll make a note to ask some people about that when I see some folks.
Yeah, no, it's so hard for Uniontown. Either or, I mean, we just can't get the ball players. The numbers are just not there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. I appreciate the call.
George.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Take care. Now let's get another call in before we get. Well, we lost the caller who left us. I was going to get another call in before we got to our break and then got to our college football preview. If you were there and you want to call me back, please do so. We can get another call in before we get Steve Jones on the air about the Penn State Nittany Lions in this upcoming season. But we lost that caller, and I don't think he's coming back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get our break in here, and when we come back, we'll talk about the Penn State Nittany Lions and the upcoming college football season with my old friend, their longtime play-by-play voice, Steve Jones. We'll be back with that right after this.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or,
Hi, come on in. How are you feeling?
when you see doctors Paul Hartley and Mary Beth Riley, plus nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckart, and Stacy Morris, you get one-on-one personal professional health care serving the area for over 3 decades. If you're looking for a primary care doctor, call Doctors Hartley and Riley at 724-437-1109 or online at ppcp.org. Or
serving number 3,940.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Chris Parker Jr., hard to believe the 25-26 school year is here.
Easy for us to believe, 25 and 26 Hyundais are here. So is the Hyundai Getaway sales event. Get away with 0% financing for 60 months on the full-size luxury third row 2025 Palisade, redesigned third row 2025 Santa Fe and Santa Fe Hybrid, or up to $2,750 HMS bonus cash on Palisade and up to $3,500 HMS bonus cash on Santa Fe. And your first payment is not due for 90 days.
I hear you. What about selection?
We still have a great selection of new 25, so we're lowering prices and offering above Blue Book value for your trade. Plus 0% financing for 60 months on the 25 Palisade, 25 Santa Fe, and Santa Fe Hybrid. And first payment not due for 90 days.
Plus Hyundai Owner Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection with every new Hyundai purchased, and 3-year, 36,000-mile free complimentary maintenance. Autoland Hyundai, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website at AutolandHyundai.com.
And remember, you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
NovaCare Rehabilitation in Uniontown is accessible for all of your recovery needs. New at NovaCare is pelvic floor physical therapy, a specialized program to treat patients with pelvic floor dysfunction related to bladder, bowel, sexual function, and pregnancy postpartum. These issues can affect both women and men and include urinary frequency, urgency and incontinence, pelvic pain, constipation, IBS, menopause, painful periods, and more. Call 724-437-0556 for an appointment in Uniontown. Personalize your care with NovaCare. In 1986, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville was started with a promise to provide clients with truthful, friendly, and courteous service. It worked. With an expanded client base, the Firestone Insurance Agency's customers are now able to choose from over 20 well-known insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
Here's a business looking for a customer.
Hi there.
Here's a customer looking for a business.
Hi.
And that's where the Better Business Bureau comes in. The BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. That's why 2023 IABBB research found 80% of people choose BBB accredited businesses over non-accredited ones with the same A+ letter rating. Live happily, better after. Always look for the sign of a better business because it's looking out for you. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Hi, this is Pirates broadcaster Greg Brown, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And welcome back to the Sports Line on this Saturday morning. We're about 21 days away. It is coming fast. The college football season just around the corner. And we're going to start our college football previews here on the Sports Line. And can't think of a better team to start with. Many people think that this is the year for the folks up in Happy Valley. National championship may be in the offing for the Penn State Nittany Lions, and who better to talk Penn State football with and get a preview of the Nittany Lions than my longtime friend, the veteran play-by-play voice of the Penn State Nittany Lions, Steve Jones, who I welcome into the show right now. Steve, good morning to you. How are you, my friend?
Doing great, George. It's always great to be with you.
It's great to talk to you. I enjoy the conversations. Well, I laid the groundwork. A lot of people are looking at Happy Valley and saying this might be the year that the Nittany Lions break through and win a national title. Are you as gung-ho about their chances as some of the pundits are around the country?
Well, I think we've all gone out and embraced the expectations. I mean, you want to be around a program that has great expectations. You don't want to be around one where the strategy is hope. Penn State always has big expectations, always has. And, nationally this year, they're getting a lot of that. Now you have to just go out on a week-by-week basis and prove it. And I know that I've talked to, when people have asked me about it, what are you looking for in practice right now? I said, I'll be honest with you. I said, I'm looking at the 2s and the 3s. I said, I'm not really looking at the 1s. Because in order to negotiate a 16-game season, which Penn State did last year, they played 16 games, you have to have the ability to have depth. So when I'm talking about a football team, I'm not sitting there like, hey, let's talk about the quarterback. Oh, goody gumbo. Right. We know he's good. I got it. We'll eventually talk about him. But to me, you need to have 5 defensive. You need to have 5 defensive ends. You need to have 5 defensive tackles. You need to have 5 to 6 linebackers, depending on your scheme. You need 10 defensive backs. You need to have 7 wide receivers. You need to have probably 4 running backs. You need 3 tight ends. You need at least 8 offensive linemen, and you need 2 quarterbacks. You have to have all that to win. I just reeled off 50 players.
Mm-hmm.
And we can boil this down and make this, let's simplistic. What do you think about this? No offense, but that's what shows do.
Right.
You only have X amount of time, but that's not really what it takes to build a football team. You do need to have your stars be your stars.
Well, I wanted to ask you.
You need to have your stars be your stars, George.
Right.
But you need all the depth to get there too.
Well, I wanted to ask you about the business of college football too, because it is the Wild West out there right now. We've had so many changes over the past few years, name, image, likeness, and the House bill that just passed and what that's going to do and everything. How do you feel the Penn State program has navigated those choppy waters with the transfer portal and everything else? Do you think that they've done a pretty good job in handling this? And, we're not out of the woods there yet. Who knows what's going to happen? Because I still think there are going to be more changes coming.
Well, let's start with the transfer portal part. James Franklin has been judicious in the use of the transfer portal, and they've done really well in the portal. Where they've needed somebody, they've been able to go out and get somebody. And this year, for example, Trevor Pena at wide receiver, Maury Campbell at linebacker, T.J. Shanahan at guard. But they have not gone overboard in the transfer portal. It's still very much a developmental program. And then as they're developing players, they'll look around and say, okay, what needs do we have? You look at the top programs last year. The top 4 programs last year were Penn State, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Texas. Those are the 4 semifinalists. They all were built in similar fashions. Yes, they had some transfers on the team, but they only had some. Most of the players they had have been players that have been there the entire time. Maintaining your roster and roster retention is still the most important part to me in college football. There are times where you have to change things over dramatically, and we've seen some programs do that. But roster retention is still the most important part. Then you add in the transfers around it. Now, as for the NIL part is always going to be a work in progress because you're going to have, for example, at Texas Tech, you have 2 billionaire twins, right? The billionaire twins at Texas Tech, they have poured a lot of money in there, and not just in football. They poured in money in basketball. They poured in money in softball, right, for example, because I think one of them is married to a former softball player at Texas Tech, and they were able to get the pitcher from Stanford for 7 figures, allegedly, and they got all the way to the national championship game. You're fighting against that all the time. Now, can the $20.5 million be a stabilizer? We'll see, because it's also going to be based in part on what the clearinghouse does. And at some point somebody will sue the clearinghouse when they're not getting money for something. Because name, image, and likeness, the definition of it to me is that you go out, provide a service, you get money. Okay? As opposed to, hey, I'm glad you're playing, here's some money. Okay? But we all know that over the last few years, it's been wide open, and that's how it's been going. So the collectives, of course, came to fruition. So the question is going to be moving forward, how do the collectives, jive with the $20.5 million, and, can players still get outside money without performing a service? And that's what remains to be seen. Now, at some point, I think collective bargaining is going to be something that needs to be considered. The players need to have a say in what's going on out there. Because all these rules, for example, the $20.5 million, well, that was put in, after the House settlement, but it's not in the House settlement, but they put it in.
Well, as I stated when I asked
the players
the
had no say in it.
Yeah, as I stated when I asked the question, we're still navigating all this, and I still think we're going to see more changes coming. It's not a settled issue by any means, I don't think.
Well, no, and you're going to have, I think at some point, you're going to have a suit over Title IX.
There's no question.
As to how it's being done, because the base formula, it's only a base formula. Everybody can do whatever they want with it. The base formula is 75% football, 15% men's basketball, 5% women's basketball, 5% everything else. That's the base. I mean, everybody can go with their own way of doing it, but that's what you're trying to work with right now, and that's not easy.
Well, let's get back to what's going on between the lines. Looking at Penn State's offense, and we got to start, as you always do, with the trigger man, your quarterback, Drew Aller.
Yep.
Great regular season, 73.7 completion rate, and he had a 169.7 efficiency rating. Didn't translate that well into the playoff. I saw this quote, and I thought it was interesting. Asked where Aller needed to improve, Penn State head coach James Franklin said, "It's all of it."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's and that's for everybody.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
And then, of course, with the quarterback position, you said you're going to need two. Is there any depth there behind Aller?
Well, that's what they're working on right now. And the reason I said two, let's go back to last season. I mean, Drew got hurt in the first half, near the end of the first half of the Wisconsin game, and could not play in the second half. Penn State was actually behind by 3 at halftime. So Bo Pribula came off the bench and played really well, and Penn State won the game. You're going to need somebody to do that at some point, because you can't sit there and count on one guy taking every snap during the course of a long, long season. And that's what the process is. The process is Ethan Grunkemeyer and Jackson Smolik right now fighting it out. And this is something that probably is going to extend into the season as time goes, because I think you have to not only see them in scrimmages, you're going to have to, and they're both off to good starts, but you're going to not only have to see them in scrimmages, but you're also going to have to see them as to how they react in games at some point. And that'll be the important part. But Aller, does he need to be better at everything? Yeah, he does. But every single quarterback in the country, Arch Manning, right? Everybody, they all need to be better at everything. Now, vision, pocket presence, movement, taking care of all the little things. And that's one thing about Drew. He's meticulous. He does take care of all the little things, because he understands if you do that, the big things will take care of themselves.
Well, one thing that is great for any quarterback, and Aller is no exception, when you turn around and hand off the ball, and you've got Nicholas Singleton and Haytron Allen, 1,000-yard rushers in your backfield, that's a pretty good feeling for a quarterback to say, hey, I'm going to give the ball to one of these guys, right?
Well, it's much more than that, George. It's way more than that. Because they can run off chunks of yards like they did against Oregon. I mean, the two of them had great games against Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. But they're also become invaluable in the passing game. And both have worked hard to do that. Allen came in as a better natural pass catcher. Singleton was not a natural pass catcher when he got here. Now Singleton is so comfortable in the pass game. You can get the ball out to him, and he can, instead of being a body catcher, hands boom and into the third hand, he's got the hands out and that wide receiver, because he's so confident now as a pass catcher. And the ability to not only put those guys between the tackles, but then to put them in the open field, that's big for any quarterback, because there are times there will be a planned play to them, but there'll also be times there'll be a check down to them. And when you check down to one of those two guys, A, they're going to catch it, and B, they've got a chance to get really big yards.
And, of course, it helps a great deal, Steve, when you have 4 starters returning on your offensive line. That unit should be a pretty good unit, I think.
Well, actually, it's 5 starters on
Five
the
starters?
offensive
Okay.
line.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know Sal Wormley's not there, but remember, Anthony Donko started at right tackle all of last year, and then got hurt in the Minnesota game, and then Nolan Rucci took over, and he started the rest of the way. Well, they're both back, and Donko can play guard. So you've got, like I said, I think you need 8 offensive linemen. I think they've got probably 10. And you go back to when James took over the program in the middle of the ridiculous sanctions and so forth that the clown show put on, and they had 5 offensive linemen total. Total. All right. Now they have 22 on the roster. Well, 10 of them can play. If you whittle it down to 8, because a guy like Cooper Cousins, for example, who's just a tremendous prospect, can play 3 spots on the offensive line. Javen Williams can play 4. So you have that kind of versatility in the offensive line. So they have not only experience up front, but they have depth up front. And I think Venga Ioane has a chance to be a first-team All-American.
Okay. I got to throw this stat at you because when I saw it, I had to look at it twice. It sort of blew me away. Last year, the passing game centered around the Mackey Award-winning tight end Tyler Warren. He caught a program record 104 passes. Penn State's top 6 wide receivers combined for 102 catches, prompting the position room maybe to try and bring some people in to bulk up the wide receiver core, but that just illustrates what a great player Tyler Warren was for you guys. It's not going to be easy to replace him.
No, but they've played a lot of people there. Luke Reynolds has great hands. Andrew Rapelier is back, and Khalil Dinkins is an excellent all-around tight end. Not only can Dinkins block, Dinkins is an excellent blocking tight end, but he is also a guy that has really terrific hands. You need 3 tight ends. And it may be a little different than having a special talent like that there, but it's not like the special talent left and the room was bare, because Reynolds made some big plays last year for them. Dinkins made some big plays for them last year. Sometimes they get lost in the wash. And then at the wide receiver spot, this is where they felt they needed to go into the portal. Kyron Hudson comes in, and Hudson, look, he fights for the ball. You just feel like when you throw over to him, if you're a quarterback and you're throwing the ball, you're throwing to a guy that just absolutely wants the ball. Devontae Ross has a little wiggle in him. He's got that quickness. He's got great feet, excellent hands. He has the ability, if you want to use him, to return punts. Trevor Pena out of Syracuse, I never really had seen him play before. No offense, I'm not sitting there on a Saturday saying, hey, I can't wait to watch the next Syracuse game. And we followed him a little bit last year only because of Kyle McCord being there and transferring. But I really only saw him play in the Holiday Bowl, so I wasn't really taking note of him. Now he's out there, and he has got a lot to him. I kind of look at him and I see Parker Washington, to be honest with you, as to how he plays. And I think that's those 3 are big pluses. Now you add in Liam Clifford, who's back. Now you add in Tyser Denmark, who is back, who are both, Denmark's ready to take the next step. Now, how do you find numbers 6 and 7? Because you need 7 of them. Okay? Again, this is a 16-game season. You've got to be able to have 50 guys to do this. And so I'm looking at like a kid like Kobe Howard as a possibility. Maybe a Lyric Samuel could be a possibility. Jeff Exner could be a possibility. There's some certain guys out there that you're looking at that's saying that can be possibilities for you. Matthew Outen could be a possibility, but that's part of training camp, trying to now whittle this out where now you're comfortable with 7 guys.
So let's take a look at the other side of the ball. Defensive coordinator Tom Allen left for Clemson. Franklin goes out. He gets Ohio State defensive coordinator Jim Knowles, largest assistant's contract in college football. I love Knowles' quote. He says, Penn State is so close to winning it all, I think I can help. Well, I certainly hope he can. I think he's got the tools to get it done defensively.
Well, he's a smart guy. I mean, just being around Jim. Jim's really a smart guy, and he has a great feel for the game. And he has the personnel to do it. You start out with a big league defensive end at Denai Dennis Sutton. You start out with a major league defensive tackle in Zane Duran. You start out with a couple of linebackers in Dom DeLuca, Tony Rojas, and now you add in Amari Campbell. And you start out with two corners that are superior players in Elliott Washington and A.J. Harris. And when you have corner play that is really strong, you can do a lot of things with the other 9 guys, right? And then you have a Davian Collins who comes off the bench, and he's your other corner in there. Then you've got a safety like Zakee Wheatley. You have pieces in place that allow a defensive coordinator to be creative, and it allows your defensive coordinator also to be not just creative, but also could be a little more complex because you are dealing with veterans who have been around the block and know how to play the game.
Now, you and I always talk. There are different facets to the game. One facet sometimes that gets overlooked is special teams, and I was looking at Penn State specialists. You got your starting kicker, punter, long snapper, kickoff specialist, and both returners. It looks like you might be pretty good with your special teams too, Steve.
And they're working on it. They're putting a lot of work into special teams because they feel like they can find some hidden yards someplace along the way. That's why it's been interesting to watch what they want to do with the punt return game. We know that Denmark can return. We know that Zion Tracy can return. But now Trevor Pena can return. You've got a guy like Devontae Ross who can return. So they've got, Kobe Howard can return. So they're looking to find maybe some hidden yards in that area there. The ability to kick the ball. Ryan Barker had a terrific season last year, including the game winner at USC in overtime. Gabe Wosu has turned into an excellent kickoff man, but he's also turned into a really good punter, and he's turning into a very good place kicker. Riley Thompson is a veteran who's now going into his 3rd season as the punter here and has made some big plays for Penn State. You can't put a price on Tyler Dzanski. The only time you're going to really talk about Tyler Dzanski is if something goes wrong. And the key with him is we never have talked about him because things have not gone wrong. That's why he is on the watch list for the Manley Award, which Chris Stoll won a couple of years ago. And Dzanski has been outstanding. Having him come back, I think, was really big to the operation of everything because of how consistent he has been. And as for the kickoff return guys, they have a multitude of options back there that I think they can win with.
Wow. So that brings us to the schedule, and I was looking at it this morning again, and it shapes up pretty well. It's a daunting schedule, as most of them are, but it's laid out pretty well. And the first thing that jumped out at me, of course, was no Michigan.
No Michigan, but
you still got that team along the banks of the Olentangy. You got to visit them.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it wouldn't have bothered me if Michigan was on the schedule at this stage. But you've got Oregon on the schedule there at home. You've got Ohio State on the road. You got to go to Iowa, and Iowa's really upgraded its quarterback position, getting the kid from South Dakota State to now be their starter. So they may have an offense that can really help out the defense. You've got to play Dylan Raiola in Nebraska here. Michigan State was a good football team last year, and Childs is back as their quarterback. You've got but you've got to take this on a week by week basis. I think it's a fan can always think about, okay, what about the whiteout game? The fan can always think about the Ohio State game. A team can't. A team has to be able to win today in practice. And then after an off day, they've got to win Monday. And it's just such a day-by-day proposition when you're inside with a team that I think is really important. But there's no question. They've got some games on the schedule that will show everybody whether they're playoff worthy or not, and how high a seed that they should be based on how they play the schedule. And that's what you're looking for out of it.
Right. Steve, as always, I appreciate the time. I'm looking forward. The season is almost upon us, about 21 days away, looking at it. And I'm anxious to see it unfold between the lines because, quite frankly, I'm a little weary sometimes of all the stuff surrounding college athletics and everything that's going on. I just miss the good old games, Steve, if you know what I mean.
You're the first person to tell me that.
Oh, it gets to me, and I guess I'm an old curmudgeon when it comes to that. There's a lot of things I miss about college athletics.
George, you know how many fans say that to me? I mean, I have fans tell me that all the time, and I completely understand where they're coming from. But they said, "How do you handle it?" And I said, "Look, you either adapt or you're gone." I said, so all of us have looked around and adapted, and that's where I'll give James Franklin so much credit. In this landscape, he's adapted, and that's why he's got his team in this position, because he's adapted. And and there are others who didn't want to adapt, and I don't blame them, and got out of it. And we've had a lot of big name coaches get out of it.
We certainly in both sports, big time names. Yeah. Well, listen, how's my friend Jack Ham doing? Are you guys, your preparation, I know you're just like the team. You're getting ready, too, both of you.
We're going along with that pretty well. I've been to every practice so far. And Jack, of course, is completely immersed in this. He's gone over video and everything like that. He's, whatever you think of Jack Ham, right? And a lot of people think very highly of him. He's even better than everybody realizes, both as a person, as a professional, as a working partner, as a friend. Whatever you think of him, and if how highly you think of him, he's even better than that. And I've been so fortunate to have that guy carry my backside.
Well, you don't have to sell me on that, because I've known Jack for a long time, going back to his playing days with the Steelers. And you're right. I just love the guy. He's a great person. Yeah.
That guy's carried my backside for years. What the heck?
Let me tell you, you're one of the best, and I really appreciate the time you always give me. I do appreciate it so much, Steve. I really do.
You're just such a wonderful friend, and one of the best I've ever dealt with in my life. I've been so fortunate to have crossed paths with you so early in our respective careers, because it's a friendship that's lasted for a long time and will continue to last. You're the best.
All right, Steve. Take care. I may even see you at some point. I was invited to come to a game on the road, and I'm going to be in the press box. I may be at Iowa.
Oh, good. All right.
So I might have to stop in and say hello to both you guys.
I mean, you better be up in the press box. Don't be on the sidelines, because there's only about 3 yards between the sideline and the
and I'm liable to get hurt. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you, there's not a lot of room to breathe down there. Those stands are pretty close.
Right. Well, listen, you take care, my friend, and best of luck to you and the Nittany Lions.
Thanks so much, George. Appreciate it. Great being with you today and being with everybody else.
All right. Take care. Steve Jones, the veteran play-by-play voice of the Penn State Nittany Lions, with a look at Penn State football. We're moving down the home stretch. We're going to get a break in and maybe try and finish with a couple of calls. If you so desire, give us a call. 724-438-4593 is the number to call. We'll be back and wrap things up on the Sports Line.
Enjoy the Story Square Summer Concert Series every Thursday throughout the summer from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., featuring music and food with local bands and vendors. WMBS will also be on hand for a live broadcast with the prize wheel and giveaways various Thursdays throughout the summer. Bring along your friends and family to enjoy the talents of local musicians. It's an ideal opportunity to celebrate community spirit and support local talent. The Story Square Summer Concert Series is supported by the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Uniontown and presented weekly by fine businesses including Premier Nissan, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, the Herald Standard, the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, Lee's Plumbing, Mike Kelly Toyota of Uniontown, the Fayette Launchbox, A1 Porta-Johns, and by Fayette Area Coordinated Transportation. Check out the full schedule of the 2025 concert series at uniontownredevelopment.com/storysquare. We will see you there.
Yeah, they're the people I trust. It's the place I go. Home, warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
This is home improvement season. Home Warehouse in Uniontown is your one-stop shop for all your exterior building needs. It's the place that makes a house a happy home. Looking to add a deck? Home Warehouse carries composite decking materials and maintenance-free railing in a variety of styles. Plus, roofing shingles, metal and commercial rubber roofing, windows and doors, shutters, siding, soffit and fascia, railing, columns, 5 and 6-inch seamless gutters, plus flooring and more. Whatever building products you need, you'll be pleased with the selection and hometown service. So stop in and see Sandy and Donnie at Home Warehouse, Connellsville Street in Uniontown. Shop Monday through Friday 8 to 4:30, Saturday 8 to noon, closed Sunday and holidays.
Home Warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
Saving money when you buy a new home isn't a fantasy. It's reality at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. With up to $5,000 in instant savings during the Sign and Save sales event, it's the perfect place to find the home you've always wanted. So don't let your dream home stay a fantasy. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon today at 4500 PA 51. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save sales event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through August 31st. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
Concerned about your heart health? At WVU Medicine, we believe your heart deserves world-class care, close to home and always within reach. Our non-invasive cardiology team uses advanced tests like stress tests and cardiac MRI to diagnose and monitor heart conditions without surgery. Call 877-WVU, the number 4HRT, or visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
Casey's Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown and owned by the Vernon family, wants you to know they have new hours. Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come on into Casey's and check out their new menu ideas and entrees. They can also cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126. Casey's, the best in Fayette County.
Hi, this is Penguins broadcaster Phil Bork, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
Well, that pretty much puts a capper on this edition of the Sportsline. Maybe time to stick in one call if you want to jump in, and our lines are open, 724-438-4593. Hope you enjoyed the Steeler interviews on the show with Jack Sawyer and Zach Frazier. Steelers and Jacksonville tonight, NFL preseason, and you can hear the action 6 o'clock pregame show and 7 o'clock kickoff right here on your local station, WMBS. It's going to be an interesting preseason game for the Steelers. A lot of guys not playing, but a lot of younger players are playing, and I'm going to be paying very, very close attention to that young offensive line for the Steelers. So I hope you enjoyed the first of our college football previews. A look at the Penn State Nittany Lions, who appear to be loaded for bear and eyeing a national championship up in Happy Valley, and just got a great preview from their longtime play-by-play voice. My good friend Steve Jones gave us a great rundown on the Penn State Nittany Lions and their chances for the upcoming season. Don't forget, the Pirates play Game 3 of their series with the Reds tonight at PNC Park. Right-hander Braxton Ashcraft, 3-2, 3.24 ERA on the hill for the Buccos. Right-hander Nick Martinez, 9-9, 4.66 ERA on the hill for the Reds. George Von Benko saying so long. Sportsline was brought to you this morning by Tom Vernon and KC Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown. The Firestone Insurance Agency, Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management, serving lunches and dinners Monday through Saturday from 12 to 9, Sunday from 12 to 5. Come on out, enjoy fine dining, a round of golf. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. News is next from CBS on 590 AM and 101.1 FM, WMBS, Uniontown, Pennsylvania. We join CBS News for the latest news.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by ZipRecruiter.
I'm Heather Bosch. Ukraine's president is reacting to President Trump's plans to meet with Russia's Vladimir Putin to talk about peace in Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelensky, through a translator, insisting
any decisions that are without Ukraine are at the same time decisions against peace. They will not achieve anything.
And he says Ukraine would reject any deal that forces Ukraine to cede territory to Russia. CBS's Willie James Inman.
At stake, sections of Ukraine Russia gained during the war and other parts of land Putin wants.
Well, you're looking at territory that's been fought over for 3.5 years with, a lot of Russians have died, a lot of Ukrainians have died. So we're looking at that, but we're actually looking to get some back and some swapping. It's complicated.
Trump and Putin are set to meet in Alaska Friday. In Gaza, Palestinians rushing to get aid being airdropped in. Relief agencies say it's not enough. And as Israel plans to escalate its war against Hamas in